Kalani Sitake says no. Stays at BYU. They make a godfather-like offer to Bob Chesney, Pennsylvania guy, and say, Bob, come home. We want you. We screwed up.
He's not.
Turn your back on you. Pull a Lane Kiffin. Turn your back. Pretend that a handshake did not happen, and come to Penn State.
Just so you know, I'm looking at the live odds. He's off the board now, as of this morning. In terms of betting odds, he's not even on the board. Do you know who is on the board at 16-1? Brian Dable.
He's
very similar odds, by the way. Lincoln Riley, 18-1.
They're not hiring him.
Would you want him?
No, I do not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I do not.
Terry Smith is on here. Joe Brady's on here. Josh Heupel's on here.
This is so bad.
It's the dregs.
This is so bad.
If you don't get Sitake, I mean, I don't. It's the dregs.
Jeff Brom at Louisville, and now they're talking about this is just
Brom is the next up. Is the most Oh, boy. Would you want to make a run at a Bob Stoops?
No. The only reason why I pause is because you know what? A 2-year bridge, fire him in 2 years, he walks away. Now at this point, it's almost like, you know what? Hire Terry Smith is our interim head coach. Maybe just hire him. He's not going to win anything. You fire him in 2 years and then hope at that point you can attract a bigger fish to your pond.
What about Bill O'Brien? What about the return of Bill O'Brien?
He was great the first time. I don't think, like many movies, sequels are going to work.
Yeah, I think the game has passed him by a lot to a little bit.
Although, nice win against Syracuse to finish off a 2-10 year. So he's coming in on a hot note.
Coming in on a hot streak, baby.
Don't let Bill get hot.
Let's go. At the Super Bowl, the Patriots played in Indianapolis, where they lost to the Giants. I think that was when they were undefeated. Was that they undefeated?
The Indy one was the second time they matched up in 2011.
That's right. So at that Super Bowl, at one of the media events, Bill O'Brien was just sitting in a tent with a heater. It was so cold, and nobody was there. So I just went over and I shot the breeze with him for 30 or 40 minutes. And I will say, incredibly likable guy when he's just talking football. That's the kind of guy you could have a beer with.
Absolutely. And look, I want a coach that can win games. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want a coach that you can have a beer with.
Would you take Kirk Ferentz if you could get him? You can't. I'm just thought experiment.
No.
Really?
I'm so down bad. No, I'm not that. I'm not down that bad. I also love you can't get him, but would you want him? You're trying to pawn off. Don't take him, but hey.
But you can't get him. I mean, there's got to be, if I'm you guys, there's got to be some defensive or offensive coordinator at some SEC school that just wants a job, wants a big job, and is ready. And just go hire that guy.
I mean, the name that people talk about is Brian Hartline, Ohio State's offensive coordinator, but there's no traction. I don't know. I got nothing for you at this point. This has been a disaster.
Very, very funny. I don't know why I enjoy your Penn State misery. We'll continue more of that tomorrow. Among other things, I'm Bill Ryder. We appreciate you listening. Thank you to Joe Theismann. Thank you to Andrew Bogish. Thank you to Ryan Hickey. See you tomorrow on Ryder Than You.
At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Cleaning your fuel system can help your engine run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus get 2 times O-Rewards points. Just add it to your tank during your next fill-up. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here with Brian Cook, the comptroller for Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World. So many times people have problems with their automobile, and finding a service department that you can trust not to upsell you on something you really don't need, but to go in, diagnose the problem, and solve the problem.
Yeah, we're really here to pass along any kind of savings we can to pirates in the area. We take pride in offering a discounted labor rate compared to some of the other places, but get the same quality that technicians can provide.
Greenville Motor Company, Greenville Auto World. Try us, trust us at drivehherenow.com.
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU Athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Mark your calendar because starting December 1st, Beauty Bar Medi Spa is offering super savings on procedures and products during their 12 Days of Christmas Flash Sale event. Smooth wrinkles, tighten skin, erase brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair, and provide natural-looking facial rejuvenation. Call today to learn more and to receive a calendar of the specials so you don't miss out. And to make your holidays stress-free, Beauty Bar Medi Spa is offering gift certificate specials. The holidays are your time to glow and save. BeautyBarMedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, are you in the market for a member-focused local credit union or making a switch from your existing one? Then explore First Flight Credit Union with branches across Eastern North Carolina where all residents are membership eligible. First Flight members experience in-person service, competitive savings, and loan rates. Everything from automobile, boat, and home loans, First Flight has you covered. First Flight is more than just a branch. They're on a mission to take better care of our community. Stop by one of their local branches today or visit efirstflight.com. First Flight is insured by the NCUA and an equal housing lender.
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
When it comes to building or remodeling your home, every detail matters. Hi, this is Kathy Herring with KDL Construction, and we believe great design begins with careful planning and ends with flawless execution. With open communication and a true partnership mindset, we guide you through every step, turning your vision into reality. Our goal, to deliver more than a building project. We create an experience that is seamless, stress-free, and inspiring. Visit KDLConstructionLLC.com to start your transformation today. KDL Construction, your vision, our craft.
Hauser untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, ECU.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Caden Hauser, and the best way to relax after getting rowdy and dowdy is by having the most comfortable furniture from Bosick Sugg of Greenville. Every pirate needs a good night's sleep, and Bosick Sugg has a showroom full of quality mattresses from the top brands. Outfit your living room to watch every game with a sectional or lazy boy recliner. Pirates prefer Bosick Sugg, serving Eastern North Carolina since 1937, and a proud member of the Pirate Club for over 5 decades. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, DriveHereNow.com, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Okay, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into our show. A dreary, dreary day outside, but we've got two outstanding guests for you coming up in the next hour that will certainly put a smile on your face. Coming up in our first half hour, Todd Gibson, our good friend Gibby from WNCN Sports, started with WNCT way back in 1987. Still one of my best friends. We're going to analyze the ACC championship game, talk East Carolina, what bowl the Pirates might go to, that kind of thing. Also dive into the high school football regionals. There are some changes as far as the days go when they will play some of those games. And in the back half hour, Donnie Kirkpatrick, one of the all-time great guests here on the Brian Bailey Show. He will join us in that back half hour to talk Pirate football from the past and all the bowl games and that kind of thing. Coach K is up in the second half hour. Gibby kicks us off, and we're back with more on the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
And may I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
It's bow time. Sure, you've had a sausage biscuit before, but have you had the smoked sausage biscuit from Bojangles? Well, now is your chance. Juicy, slow-cooked smoked sausage is grilled to perfection and served on a fluffy, made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. No one does breakfast like Bojangles, and this smoked sausage biscuit doesn't disappoint. Right now, you can get 2 for just $5. Start your day with this flavor-packed deal while it lasts. It's bow time.
In Pitt County, everyone's a college student. At every age, at every stage of life, from every part of the county. Their parents and police officers, their nurses who work nights, their hairstylists and handymen. They come from every walk of life, and they're all getting ahead without taking on loads of debt. Continuing education at Pitt Community College, where everyone's a college student.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in ENC. Open at noon 7 days a week with live music. Come enjoy sports trivia with me, Clip Rock, every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's live local acoustic night, along with line dancing from 7 to 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, there's a brand new lineup with Singo starting at 8, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. Ladies and free both Friday and Saturday nights with the best local bands in the area. Finish the weekend with free games and DJ Kid Scene.
Y'all come get bugged up.
Phelps Chevrolet is the dealer to see for a car or a truck or an SUV. The best service and quality. That's the Phelps guarantee. Phelps Chevrolet, the name you can trust. Phelps Chevrolet, you can count on us. The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you on.
G'day, this is Luke Larson, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show as we are trying to hook up with Todd Gibson from WNCN Sports, and we're going to get him on in just a moment. Later on, we will have Donnie Kirkpatrick. Coach K will join us. As we were going to break, we said there are some changes to the high school football schedule coming up this week. West Craven at Reedsville has been moved to Thursday night. That game is on the road at Reedsville, and Warren County at Tarboro. That game also has been moved to Thursday night. So Tarboro will be hosting that game Thursday night, 7 o'clock, and Reedsville will be hosting West Craven on Thursday night. The other games have not changed as of yet, but there is a big chance of rain coming up on Friday, so some games will be moved to Thursday. Hopefully the whole gamut of the games won't be moved to Thursday night, but that's looking more and more like it could be the case. Jacksonville will host 2 games on right now, Friday night. Jacksonville High School will host Middle Creek in the 6A Eastern Finals, and Wilson Hunt will host Northside Jacksonville. So the city of Jacksonville actually won't host both. Wilson Hunt will host Northside Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a pair of teams playing, but that game is in Wilson. So if Tarboro changes, you thought to think the folks at Wilson are at least thinking about it. James Keenan also has to be thinking about it, and we'll let you know during the next hour if anything happens as far as that goes. Trying to hook up with Gibby right now, trying to track him down to see if we can hook up. He started at WNCT back in 1987, and he joined our sports staff there, went on to WRAL in 1995 and had a great career there, and then went to WNCN and had a chance to cover some outstanding sporting events there. He's frequently a guest on our show, and he joins us right now. Gibby, how's your football season?
Well, it's certainly winding down right now. I didn't expect that we'd have a team in the ACC championship game on Saturday. That one kind of came out of nowhere. So it's got us scrambling for how we're going to cover it and everything. So and actually, Brian, because there's not much going on this week, I took this week off for vacation time. So I'm thinking about coming back in possibly for the championship game, but that was a shocker that Duke made its way to the title game.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a pretty quiet week as far as that goes. We have so many teams in the Eastern Finals that we knew it was going to be a busy, we thought Friday night, but as we said, coming to you, a couple of games have already been moved to Thursday, and a couple of others may be moved. But let's talk about the ACC, since you brought it up. But Virginia finishes in first place, 10-2 overall, 7-1 in the conference, and then after that, it was just a log jam because Cal upset SMU. So you got SMU, Pitt, number 12 Miami, Georgia Tech, and Duke all tied. And if you go through all the tiebreakers, Manny Diaz and his 7-5 Duke Blue Devils at 6-2 in the conference, they emerged as the opponent for Virginia in the ACC championship game.
Yeah, that's just wild. And you wanted to see a team in the playoff, but you just don't know the way that if Duke wins it, that's such a bad record. What happens? It's crazy how that thing shook out. I mean, I knew there was a possibility, but we really did. We're just, all the scenarios had to fall in place, and I just didn't see it happening. But here they are playing for a championship, and Manny's been I tell you what, I was just thinking about this a while ago. Duke's had some really good coaches their past 3 coaches, from Cutcliffe to Elko, now to Manny. They've had some good coaches there, and he's got that program going in a good direction, and the other coaches got it going in the right direction to start. So I think Duke's on some pretty solid footing. And in the Triangle, they get overlooked football-wise for sure, but that's been a good program for several years now.
And you think about NC State, if they'd have gotten a game or two more, and NC State actually beat Virginia. It was a non-conference loss for the Cavaliers. Yeah, that was early in the season, and that was a game that Virginia thought they should have won. They came down, and I think they threw the interception late in the game. But and that was, as you said, a non-conference game in that matchup. But Virginia, if they win, they will go to the playoff, it looks like.
Right.
But if Virginia doesn't win, the ACC may be shut out.
Maybe shut out, or maybe Miami slips in there. You never know. But yeah, certainly Virginia's got a good enough record. If they do win on Saturday, they'll get a bid to the playoffs. But there's talk now that if Duke wins, who do you go to get shut out, or does possibly Miami go? So I think the ACC, it's just the ACC, Brian's a lot better. You and I know this when Virginia and Virginia Tech are good. And it's good to see Virginia playing some good football. Now we get Virginia Tech; they need to start picking it up a little bit. But the ACC, everybody thought, when they brought Miami in and Florida State in, that they were just going to, have some great teams and be able to fill these playoff situations. But I don't know. It just hasn't seemed to work out. And then the ACC need to pick up their play, and they have to. They can't. So go out and do it.
I hear you. You know, it's funny, but when Florida State and Miami got put together in the ACC, Florida State was already there, and a lot of us were thinking that, hey, they'll play for the championship every year because they're the best two teams. But that hasn't panned out at all, has it?
No, and we're thinking in Clemson too. Yeah, don't forget about them. Obviously, they've been a great program for years now. But that's exactly. It just hasn't panned out. And you would have thought between those three teams that there would always be a clear cut team coming out that would go to the playoffs and compete for a national title. And in the last couple of years, it just hasn't done that. And you just wonder, looking down the road, if it'll continue, because there's just so much instability right now. Florida State, seems like they want out of the conference, but they haven't been any good. So go, just go. But it's the ACC. Like I said, there's so many good programs. There's programs that you would think are really good that just needs to pick it up a little bit. They just need to pick it up a little bit, and you just don't know if they're going to be able to do that or not.
Yeah, you look at the Clemson Tigers. We list all these teams that tied for second, and Clemson's nowhere to be found as far as that list goes. And it has been. I don't know if you say a down year for the ACC, but you could have gotten. I think somebody told me this yesterday. You could have gotten long odds on Duke and Virginia. You'd have gotten better odds if you had them playing for the basketball championship than playing for the football championship. Most certainly, but that's what you got. You got Virginia and Duke. In fact, it's a big day in Charlotte on Saturday because Virginia hoops, they play Dayton right there in downtown Charlotte at noon. So then all the Cavalier fans go play basketball, watch the basketball game, and then watch the ACC championship.
That is a good day if you're a Cavalier fan, and good. Good for them. I don't know how that coach turned that program around, and nobody saw this coming. I saw them. I was at that game at NC State, Brian, and it was just not impressive. Of course, it was early in the year, and then just seemed to take off after that. So good for them to have had the year that they've had, because it's been impressive. I mean, I don't think anyone saw this coming, did they?
No, I most certainly, and I followed Virginia a little bit. I really followed them, when I was younger, and then I followed them a lot when Ruff was over there for the year or two. He was there with the Cavaliers, but I don't think anybody saw. I thought they saw improvement with Tony Elliott, but I don't think they saw this kind of improvement and a chance really as the top seed, if you go by seeds as far as that goes, in the championship game. 8:00 kickoff at Bank of America Stadium on Saturday night, national television, Duke and Virginia for the ACC title. When you think of college football and what's going on right now, the Lane Kiffin story, has us all just kind of bewildered, I think, and just watching that thing play out. What were your thoughts? And I think all of us thought Lane was going to go to LSU. I don't think it was a big secret, but I think the whole battle of staying and coaching his team, and that would be hard. I mean, I've heard so many people talk about the scenarios that it's like a divorce, and you want to stay and have Christmas with the kids. Well, I'm sorry, you're gone. That kind of thing. I mean, it's really been just mesmerizing to see it all play out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. These coaches, these programs, they need to get their coach in place as quickly as they can. So they can't wait. Ideally, they would have let Kiffin stay with Ole Miss and play the season out. Then immediately afterwards, they say, well, okay, he's going to be the LSU coach. That way, he stays with his team. He's coached them all year. That's the best way to do it. But the programs now are to a point where they need to get their coach in place as fast as they can, because you got to go chase players, you got to keep players. So it is. I'm not really liking where college football is right now. I just think there's going to be too many have-nots and just very few haves, and it's kind of like it's heading that way, and I just don't like it. I really don't.
Yeah, and that's
my team, the team I root for, is right now is a have, being from Ohio, but still, it's just not good for college football.
Yeah, we thought about you on Saturday when those Buckeyes fell behind against Michigan, and I thought it can't happen again. Gibby can't sit through another one, but Ohio State came through, and the Buckeyes, one of the favorites, obviously, in the upcoming college football playoff, because had that great run last year, and they haven't slowed down a bit. But that was a big win for them, wasn't it?
It really was. Kind of got the monkey off their back, and they played great. Last year's game was just so disheartening. It was just so unbelievably amazing that it turned out that way. 20-point favorites. You're in your home stadium, and you can't beat a team that's just wasn't good. They just weren't good. Michigan wasn't good last year, so it was pretty good felt good. Felt really good on Saturday. But you're right. That first quarter was it was a rare game to where I got the chance to watch because I'm always covering the NC State UNC game on Saturday, and that's usually at noon or 3 o'clock or something like that, where I can't watch the Ohio State game. So it was fun watching the game, but that first quarter, that had me a little upset for sure. But they're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good.
Todd Gibson from WNCN joining us on the Brian Bailey Show today. Let's take a commercial break right now. We'll come back with more with Gibby coming up right after this.
'Tis the season. It's Lindsay Gray with Carolina Caliber. Holiday cheer is here along with our biggest sale of the year. The unbeatable Black Friday markdowns are ones you don't want to miss. With the largest selection of firearms and accessories in Eastern NC, you'll find exceptional deals on tons of brands including Springfield, Benelli, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Sig Sauer, Bergara, Henry, Beretta, Ruger, Glock, Federal, Hornady, Winchester, and the list goes on. Come find the perfect gift at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
Want to make your day better? You can now order 2 large original crust one-topping pizzas from Papa John's for only $9.99 each. Take advantage of this awesome carry-out special now by logging on to papajohns.com and make today a pizza day for only $9.99 each. Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards and start earning points for your favorite menu items. Go Pirates!
Turkey, ham, bacon, these and other meats are great around the holidays and every other day, but they all leave behind grease when you cook them, and grease is a real pain in the drain. When you pour grease down a drain, it cools and can clog sewer lines. That can lead to sewer spills, which are messy, bad for the environment, and can also be expensive. Never pour grease down the drain. Instead, collect it in a container like a used soup can or jar. Let it cool and throw it away in the trash. Together, we can protect our sewer system and the environment. For more information, go to GUC.com.
What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin from Tiebreakers, and I want you at our first annual Burgers and Bourbon event happening Wednesday, December 17th from 5 to 9 p.m. For just $50, you're getting 2 bourbon cocktails, you're getting your choice of a signature burger or a chicken Caesar salad, 4 wings, a free Blackbeard cigar, and your official event t-shirt. We'll have live music, huge energy, and a great collection of bourbon drinks. So grab your tickets now at tiebreakersnc.com. This event is sponsored by Blackbeard Cigars, Kinsfolk, and Pirate Radio.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Need to sell your house fast without fixing or even cleaning it? Call the Turner Home Team.
Hey, this is proud ECU alumni Justin Turner with the Turner Home Team. We buy houses as is in any condition for cash, and we can close in just days. As a real estate investor and licensed agent, my team and I can give you options when you need to sell. Sell fast or sell for top dollar. You choose what's best.
Call Turner Home Team or visit theturnerhometeam.com. They'll make a no-obligation cash offer for your home today.
Turner Home Team. Pirates supporting pirates.
This is Tyler Sneed, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. We continue on with Todd Gibson from WNCN Sports in Raleigh. Gets to cover all the triangle sports, keeps his eye on East Carolina as well. What did you see out of the Pirates this year, Gibby?
You know, to be honest, I didn't follow them very closely. Usually working on Saturday, didn't get a chance to see their games, but they've had a really good season. Coach Harrell's done a really good job down there. Of course, you know better than I do, but I was really happy to see them have a good season like this because from where I was sitting, it didn't seem like they were expected to have the season that they've had this year. You could correct me on that, but it seems like they've had a really good season, and I've always been partial to the Pirates because I just love my time down there. You know, I started with Art Baker back in those years, and just fun watching that program build. You know, back in those days, they had to play big time games on the road all the time just to make it financially. But it's a program that's come a long ways, and then the Pirate fans have been very patient with the program lately, and it's good to see that maybe it's paying off.
I think it was 1989. You might remember they called it the October Death March. And I think East Carolina in October, they had 5 games, and it was like Penn State, Miami, Florida State. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I'm pretty sure the Pirates were 0-5 in that month. But it was a crazy gauntlet of just the best teams around. And we had teams, come to Dowdy-Ficklin. I remember Jimmy Johnson brought Miami to Dowdy-Ficklin. Bobby Bowden brought Florida State to Dowdy-Ficklin.
Remember Michael Vick came through there
a
couple times. But there's some really, really good teams came through there, and that was fun. Most of the time, they had to go on the road to pay the bills, but now and then, like you said, you would get some big time teams coming in there, and it was really fun. It was, the younger Pirate generation will never get a chance to realize that. But the older generation can tell them about it. But those were some interesting times. It was fun to see those big time programs come into Dowdy-Ficklin for sure.
And back in the day, we worked together on Fridays. We would be getting ready for high school football and that kind of thing. But also, one of us would go over to the stadium and get the team working out. And some of them would do like just a little walkthrough, and some of them would do actually a little practice. And they usually let you shoot video and interview the coach. And that was always a big deal to me. On Fridays in Greenville.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember Frank Beamer just being so cooperative. Just anything you wanted from him, he was so accommodating. It was just amazing. I remember Bobby Bowden too. He was the same way. So those were good old times, and you just don't see that anymore. Could you imagine somebody Carolina going on the road and one of the local affiliates trying to get Coach Belichick on a Friday afternoon to walk through? That's not happening.
Yeah, and of late, I remember Dave Dorn came to town. I think it was when Holton was being recruited, but State played East Carolina the next day, and I'd set it up. And I actually got to interview Dorn that Friday when they got to town, which was rare. And they really don't do that very much anymore at all. No. But it used to be, just one of the things that coaches would do, on the day before the game. It was kind of neat and I always thought it was cool to see the visiting team, working out on the field. I think it was Tulane came to town one time, and I believe it was Brian Mito. They told him he couldn't shoot, so he went behind the bushes and shot a shot of the guys working out through the bushes, and you could see what they were doing a little bit. And I think we got in a little bit of trouble for showing that on the air, but I thought it was funny. But it was
the good old days for sure.
Good stuff. And you remember some bowl games, going with us. There's some talk that the Liberty Bowl might open up because of the SEC situation. They won't have enough to fill, all their bowl slots. And if that opens up, a return trip to Memphis, and we had a blast in Memphis, didn't we?
Oh man, and we really did. Those are some good times there. Just the Pirate fans on Beale Street and the bar areas down there, and just how happy Pirate fans were to be at a bowl and taking in the sights and being a part of all the festivities. Those were good times. And the teams, they love stuff like that. The players, it's just a great reward for a good season, and it's really good for the teams too, because your younger players get to keep practicing, get some more practices. But I guess it's in this day and age with NIL and the players moving so fast, it's not quite as big. But still, it's a good chance for your young players to keep practicing and getting better. But the bowl scene is kind of not as big as it was back in the day now with the playoff, but still for the teams like East Carolina and NC State, a chance to extend their season and feel good about playing in a bowl game.
Which was worse at the Liberty Bowl, losing all your money or running when the guy driving the limo dropped us off because we didn't have tip money?
I kind of put that out of my mind.
No, did you? You forgot all about that, did you?
As if it didn't. That must have been a dark spot in my my sport back in the day. So.
Oh, it was good. It was good times for sure. All right, we've got the regional finals coming up. High school football wise, and I know you guys have expanded your coverage of high school football this year, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done a little bit better job this year of trying to get more games out there. And of course, we're getting some help from you guys this weekend, this Friday, so that's good, or Thursday possibly. But we're trying to reach out and get more games this year. And we've got some good teams in our area. We really do. Millbrook's undefeated right now. Cardinal Gibbons has lost one game. I think the only game they lost is to one of the best teams in the state. But it's been a pretty good season up here in the Triangle. We got some really good prospects. Millbrook has two top 60 players in the nation for the 26th season. So there's some real good talent in the area, and it's been a pretty good high school football season for us, no question about it.
Have you found it's a little tougher to cover all of the high schools with the 8 classes? And football, we're a little more used to it because they used to do that when they subdivided when the playoffs started. But now, these other sports, and it's going to get worse. It's going to be really bad in basketball because you're going to have women's basketball, men's basketball going at the same time, trying to cover all those teams. But I know you guys have so much ACC to worry about that you really can't dive into that as much, can you?
No, we really can. And I was thinking about that the other day, too, is the fact that I'm dedicated myself trying to do more high school games this year. But how can you? It's hard to. You can get them on Friday because usually Friday's a day where there's not much going on. But then if you plan on doing it on Friday, then invariably there'll be a Carolina Hurricanes game that night.
Yeah.
So you got to cover your local team. But and then Tuesday's probably a good night to get it. But then again, Duke or Carolina or State's going to be at home. You just know they are. So trying to get out and get these high school games and give them the coverage that they deserve and that you want to give them, it's really, really difficult. It really is. But I'm going to try and do a better job this year. We did pretty good last year, but I'd like to take it up a notch because we got some pretty good teams. And I think Broughton has a 5-star point guard. So there's some good players in the area, and you just want to give the kids the coverage because it's something that you taught me back in the day that's important, and I've carried that up to here, the Triangle too. Even though the Triangle's got so much more going on, you still have to get in there and get those high school kids and get them on TV because they love it.
Very well said. And your basketball, when State is good, because year in and year out, Carolina's going to be good and Duke's going to be good. And when State is good, I mean, that makes for some great matchups throughout the entire winter. Kind of helps us get through winter, doesn't it?
It really does. And Coach Wade has brought an attitude. He's brought a definite attitude to NC State. It's filtered to the fans. The fans have always had pretty good, they had kind of an attitude, but they're feeling this year like they can be really, really good. He's got some really good talent on that team too, some good talent, and he's a great coach. So if they can get it together and play the way they hope they're going to play. Of course, they stumbled a little bit in when they headed out to Paradise, and then it just didn't work out very well for him. But he's got a really good team. He's got some excellent players, and I think he's a really good coach. So if State can maybe come close to the caliber of UNC and Duke, that would be a lot of fun this year. It would make for a really fun basketball season in the Triangle.
There may be too many Mai Tais at the Maui tournament for NC State because they came out in that first game. And once you lose that first game, the best you can finish, is fifth? So, I mean, you're kind of behind the 8 ball after that. But, all right, before we let you go, Gibby, I know you got stuff going on. Let's analyze very quickly Virginia-Duke in the ACC Championship game, Bank of America Stadium, 8 o'clock kickoff coming up on Saturday. Cavaliers 10-2, 7-1 in the ACC. Duke 7-5, 6-2, and a part of a 5-way tie for second place in the Atlantic Coast Conference. But Duke made it to the championship game. Can Duke pull the upset and win this thing?
Yeah, I think they can on a neutral field. Although, they had Virginia at home and couldn't handle them. Virginia pretty much ran roughshod over them at home. That was kind of surprising. Duke's had a lot of injuries. I think the linebacking core is decimated, but they keep pulling in these young players that have performed pretty good. But I really think Virginia's the favorite. I think that they'll find a way to win, but wouldn't be shocked to see Duke win because they got a really good quarterback in Darian Menza, and their offense is pretty good. But I think Virginia, their miracle season, I think it continues with a win in the ACC title game.
All right, there you go. Todd Gibson from Raleigh, WNCN Sports. Always a pleasure to have you, Gibby. Love you, man. And have a great holiday season, and we'll see you sometime in January, we hope.
All right. Love you too, Brian. Take care. Thanks.
All right, Todd Gibson joining us. Let's take a commercial break. Coming up next, Donnie Kirkpatrick, one of the all-time greats on this show. He's done it for years and years, kind of in retirement now, but we're going to get him on talking about bowls past for East Carolina as the Pirates get set to go bowling again. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show on this rainy Tuesday after this.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
Jeff Stein here at Brown & Wood Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Brown & Wood's award-winning service department is open Monday through Friday. And don't forget, we have free pickup and drop-off. Every customer, when you come in for service, heavy repair, maintenance, it doesn't matter. You get a free car wash, dry, and vacuum. We've also got Tom Brown's favorite tagline, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
Big news from the Rick House. The Rick House has a brand new menu that you're absolutely going to love. New on the menu are creamy garlic parm chicken pasta, crab cakes, and our new porterhouse, half filet, half strip, tender and juicy, and grilled to perfection. The Rick House is the area's bourbon authority, featuring Willet, Jefferson Tropics, and the Frank Sinatra Select by Jack Daniels. The new menu features new, lower prices and $4 drafts all summer long. The Rick House, Red Bank Road in Greenville.
It's Bostic Sugg Furniture's 88th anniversary sale, and we're going to wow you with amazing savings store-wide. Right now, get a discount equal to double the sales tax on beautiful furniture for your entire home. And now's the time to invest in your rest. Buy a Beauty Rest Black or a Helix mattress and enjoy healthful benefits and endless comfort with a free motion base upgrade. Plus, up to 60 months special financing during Bostic Sugg Furniture's 88th anniversary sale, going on now.
Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World, 2 names that are synonymous with top quality sales and service in Pitt County for over 47 years. And Brian Cook joins us now. And Brian, talk about your philosophy when it comes to previously owned cars, trucks, SUVs, even hybrids now.
Yeah, we're going to shop all over the Southeast, trying to keep a good mix of inventory. And from there, we want to offer a top quality product to you through warranties and finance that we can provide.
Try us, trust us at driveherenow.com.
This is Coach Gary Overton, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. Breaking news, as we said earlier, Warren County at Tarboro Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's in the 2A Eastern Regional Championship game, and in the 4A Regional Championship game. West Craven's trip to Reedsville now is on Thursday as well, with the threat of bad weather set for Friday. It's the first Friday we've had bad weather the entire season. Jerry Jackson has talked about that all year, and we thank him. We thank all of our weather folks for keeping that weather clear for most of the Fridays through the season. And finally, we have a bad weather night to come, kind of like today, because today is absolutely miserable. But to brighten your spirits, Donnie Kirkpatrick joins us through 2 stints in East Carolina, 16 years as an assistant coach with the Pirates, and he joins us now. Kind of, what do you call it, Coach? Semi-retirement? Full retirement? What are you?
Well, it just depends on what my honey-do list for the day is for Misty.
I bet it is. I can't imagine. How's it going?
It's going very well. We got a little rainy day down here at the coast, but so it's going to cancel my golf game, it looks like. But besides that, we're going to be all right. We'll bounce back tomorrow, but it's all good.
That's really good to hear. Now, you're in Wilmington, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Down at the Big W down Wilmington. And you still get a chance, I know you get a chance to hook up with Dale Steele every once in a while, play a little golf down Myrtle Beach way, or does he come your way?
Well, you know what? We meet halfway. Sometimes we go to each other, but we do see quite a bit of each other. So that's been one thing. It's been really nice. And Dale's doing good, and I think people know about the cancer and all that. And he's whipped it a couple of times. He's whipping it again, so it's always fun just to get out there and relax and go play golf with him. And then you may know, you may not know, we both work for the Myrtle Beach Bowl now a little bit in a part-time basis. And so that's getting ready to happen here with bowl season, so I'll be spending a lot of time with him here in the next month.
I knew he was working with the bowl, but I didn't know you were. That's good news, the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's made the big difference in the bowl game with me.
If you put another $1 million in the bowl, I bet it would make a huge difference. But
yeah.
All right, let's go back in time now. I was going through the years and trying to figure out which bowls you were a part of with East Carolina. What was your first bowl with the Pirates in 2006, the PapaJohns.com bowl?
Yeah, it was a famous Papa John's bowl down in Birmingham, and never saw a piece of pizza in it, but it was the Papa John's pizza bowl or whatever. And we didn't win the game, but it was good. It was Coach Holtz's second year, which is what the Holtzes are known for, taking a team to a bowl game in their second year. And we did squeeze into that one, and we played South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida won it 24-7. And I do remember everybody was talking because they didn't even sell Papa John's in the stadium. No. It was really a weird setup, and they had like cardboard tables set up for concessions, and it was really odd, and it was a tough day for the Pirates. But in 2007, things improved drastically, didn't they?
You know, the scenery was a little better. I don't think anybody from the great state of Alabama, but the Hawaii Bowl, you know, almost we used to say, if you're not playing for the national championship, you ought to be playing in the Hawaii Bowl.
Yes.
It almost ruined this. The trip was just absolutely incredible. And the only negative was Misty and my daughter Molly didn't get to go because Molly had gotten sick and had some infection and some tonsils and stuff. But me and little D man, we had a blast, and what a great game. And that kid Chris Johnson kind of put on a show that day a little bit, and that was kind of a preview to what I guess he was going to do at the NFL level. But just great hospitality, great bowl game, and yeah, that's great memories.
Yeah, I remember the practice one day after practice, Coach Holtz was doing the post-practice press conference, and we were talking about, at quarterback, and he had Dwayne Harris moving in there a couple of times, and then after it was over, he snapped at me because he said, that's why we don't want you guys out here to talk about what we do. And I said, Coach, you used him earlier in the season. It's not a big secret. And then I remember going back to the hotel, and I said, hey, Donnie, you think Coach is still mad? And you said, he doesn't even know what he had for breakfast. He's not mad.
Yeah, it's just the intensity of a coach there in a situation and trying to keep everybody straight. But yeah, Coach, he didn't hold a grudge long. Thank goodness, or I would have been in trouble many times, I guess. But yeah, that was the dual quarterback situation really throughout the year with Pinckney and Rob Cass. Yeah. And then, of course, we had Dwayne as the Wildcat kind of guy as well. And that's ended up that's how we won. Pinckney had played most of the game in the Hawaii Bowl. We had the big, huge lead, if you remember.
Right.
And then we kind of let them come back, and then became 2-minute offense time. So Cass had the stronger arm, a little bit more of the drop-back passing game, and I remember he hit Jamar Bryant down the hole on the left side there and got us in position for Hartman's field goal to win it.
I remember standing on the sideline telling the boys that it was about a minute 30 or 2:30 away from being an absolutely perfect week, and then Chris Johnson fumbled. I think it was the first time he fumbled all year, and then they all looked at me like, Hanker, man, what are you doing? And then Rob Cass saved us with that long pass and the field goal, and what a great ending, 41-38 Pirates in the Hawaii Bowl. And you said it. I mean, that bowl itself, if you're not playing for the national championship, there's no better bowl than that one. I mean, it was just, it was like you were on some magical island, and every day was a magical day, wasn't it?
It was. And, Terry Holland and his staff did such a good job of just setting it up and going first class. And, that bowl game costs you money. You don't make any money.
Right.
We spent it out, and I think we had to eat that for the next year or two, in the budget. But we really did it right. And it was first class. And, of course, they knew how to put on a good bowl game. And just from the luau's to the movies on the beach, just to all the different things, it was just a great trip. And I remember when you win it, then it makes it even better. And we took the red eye back home, and we were home by Christmas Eve because of the Sunday or the way it landed, Christmas did that year something. The NFL had the Sundays reserved, so we played really on the 24th instead of the 25th, I think, and we got home, or maybe the 23rd or something. I know we got home in time for Christmas. And just a great memory.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, the Liberty Bowls, this was the second set of Liberty Bowls for East Carolina. There was 2 in the 90s and 2 in 2009 and 2010. And the Liberty Bowl, in talking to folks, it's a possibility because the SEC may not fill their obligations, which would be a great bowl, I think, for East Carolina because they haven't been there in so long. But what do you remember about those 2 games?
Well, we loved all bowls, but the Liberty Bowl was a big-time atmosphere is what I remember. We had great TV slots, and we played 2 SEC opponents. So the first year we played Kentucky and played a really close game and played well, and just they pulled away just a little bit late in the game. But I think it proved how we had brought the program to a pretty good level at that time, and that we were able to compete with a pretty good SEC team. When you play Kentucky, the stadium's going to be packed, and the Pirate fans came, but the Kentucky people really came, and so we had a full stadium, had a national TV audience, and just a great experience there. The second time we went back, we were determined to win and knew we could play against an SEC team, so we had a lot of confidence. We played Arkansas. And what I remember is coldest day in the world. It was so cold, and it had been good temperature all week. Turned cold the day before the game, and then it was just bitter cold. And I can still remember that was one of the days that confirmed how good Dwayne Harris was, because I remember he caught a couple of balls and took some shots and ran some people over. And I thought, man, you talking about a tough individual that be able to play in the. I said, he's definitely going to be able to play in the NFL. You know, he'll be able to go to Green Bay or Minnesota or wherever the weather. He'll be able to play it all. And we should have won that game, as we all know. And we missed a couple of field goals late down the thing, and so it was a disappointing loss. But again, still a great week. Memphis is such a nice city to go and visit. Beale Street, the kids had a great time. Again, they know how to run a bowl. They've been doing it for years, and it'd be great to see Blake and the boys get to go back to there. I think the kids would really be jacked up, and you'd probably get a good opponent that would make for a good competitive game.
Yeah, you think back to how cold it was that game, and I've told this story many a time on the air, but Terry Holland, God bless him, rest his soul, but he was standing, and he always stood in like one of the hallways or one of the corridors, and he was standing stoic, and I swear I thought he was frozen stiff. He was so cold, nothing was moving, and I was really concerned at first, and he blinked his eyes, and I guess that told me that he was okay, but that's as cold as I've ever been. And you're right, leading up to the game, it wasn't that cold. And I remember going, I think the Dick's Sporting Goods or somewhere, and just happened to buy some cold weather gear just in case we needed it. And man, we needed more than what we bought. I can tell you that.
Yeah, there wasn't any amount of clothing was going to keep you warm. That's why Coach Holland was smart. He was a basketball guy. They didn't play a lot of outdoor games. He used to tell us. He said, "You guys are crazy."
Yeah. All right. After that, bowl wise with East Carolina. 2010, the military. Were you there with Coach Russ' first bowl game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh yeah, absolutely went. And the thing I probably remember back was cold then too. The military bowl was, but the thing was we got to play in RFK. And now I'll be honest, RFK had really been run down by then. It was kind of getting ready to be replaced. But Clip will tell you this, for a former Redskins, now Commanders fan, to get a chance to walk out there on that field where, Joe Gibbs and all the great ones, Joe Theismann, Sonny Jurgensen, and all those guys that you grew up watching and pulling for, played those games. It was a thrill just to walk around the stadium. I remember before the game and all that. We played a really good Maryland team who had just fired their coach, and yet he was still coaching the bowl game. And, I think we kind of got treated a little rough in that one right there. We didn't play very well. Dominique Davis had a great year, and we just couldn't get it going though in the bowl game. But the thing I guess I took back from it was we got to play in RFK before they've demolished it now and it's no more. But it was a great thrill to be out there on that field.
And you say that, and I remember exactly what I was thinking because I walked right to those stands because I still see the NFL films where the Redskin fans were chanting, "We want Dallas," and that whole stadium was rocking. "We want Dallas. We want," and I could almost hear the echoes of that walking by there. And fun covering that game. That was a neat memory, and just one of those old time stadiums, and so many games have been played there. That was cool.
Yes, very much.
Kenny Curlings writes in. I want to tell you what he said. He says something about you're a true pirate, DK. Do apologize for the times I looked in the press box and fussed at you. He said now he fusses at JDB all the time. That's probably true. And he did say he'll put a Cowboy sticker on one of your seats sometime. So he's a big Cowboy fan, like myself.
Well, it's just kind of part of the job. You know what I'm saying? Is Ruff used to always say, you know, it's a rattlesnake when you pick it up. And so when you get into the business, you have some good days, you have some bad days. You hope you have more good days than you do bad days. And I will tell you, I had a lot more good days at East Carolina than I had made it. That last year, I know we had some bad days that last year, but I don't really think much about the bad ones. I just remember all the good ones, and you know, all the Dwayne Harrises and the Justin Hardys and the Zay Joneses and, you know, Andre Alces and the Brian. I could just go on and take your whole show up talking about all the great players that I had an opportunity to coach there, and we won a lot of games and got to go to a lot of bowl games. And, you know, for the most part, the fans were pretty kind to me, so I can't complain.
And you always were good to come on the show. I remember, was it a Tulane loss one time, and your first thought was, Bailey's going to call me to do the show?
Yeah, you know what, you kind of did have me on that, so I was kind of glad that it was a Tuesday and there was no losses here, or at least not for me anyhow, so I was glad to do the show when I have a chance to be in a good mood today.
There you go. How about the Beef O'Brady's in 37-20 over Ohio? About that game?
Well, what another great destination now. That's the thing.
Yes.
Hope Blake and the guys can find a warm weather bowl, because, you know, you deserve it. And we always wanted the St. Petersburg Bowl, we called it, but it was the Beef O'Brady, as I remember. What a beautiful place to go in December, though. You know what I'm saying? We had great weather. We just had a blast out there. I remember we had a belly flop competition against them.
I remember that. Yeah.
Got a little intense. And my man, J.T. Boyd, all-conference left guard out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, who I had recruited and signed and had been at Appalachian State when his dad played for us at Appalachian State. His dad was an All-American player. So I knew the family for so long. And the score was tied, and JT came in with the win with the greatest belly flops in history of belly flops. And the thing was about to turn rough between the two teams. It had gotten so competitive over just any kind of thing like that. And Ruff raised his hand, blew a whistle, pointed, "Let's hit it, boys, to the bus." And we got there, and he said, "Boys, we'll whip them and finish this fight in the bowl game tomorrow." And we did. So we had a really good game. I remember we threw the reverse pass,
yes,
Shane Carden, and after that we're like, dang, we should have played him at receiver then. You know what I'm saying?
He made a great catch, didn't he? Yeah.
He did. And, you know, we had practiced that play, you know, obviously on the practice field, but we always have a walkthrough before the game, and we did it inside. Lincoln didn't ever like to go outside. He always liked to stay inside, so we did it in the ballroom. And we don't really throw the ball in the walkthrough very much. They kind of just lob it or throw it underhand. And the running back threw it like a real pass. He just by an inch or less missed this like $100,000 chandelier, and we all just like dropped to our knees and was thinking, how would we have ever paid this bill? The ops guy would have killed us. The ADs would have killed us, and it just missed. And Link said, that means we got it right down to the very inch. We must have this play perfect. And sure enough, he caught it in the game, and we scored. And it was a good game. We played a good Ohio team, and we were playing on indoors at the Tampa Bay, you know, raised stadiums.
Yeah,
that wasn't the best stadium for a game. After we had been there all week with beautiful weather and just, you know, loving it. And I remember I ended up staying. Ruff let me stay because my daughter was cheering for South Carolina, and they had a bowl game over in Orlando in like 4 more days, and we stayed and got a chance to see her cheer in a bowl game.
Yeah, that's nice. And then you ended up at James Madison for a spell, right?
Yeah, we went to JMU where we didn't do the bowl games. We did the playoffs.
Yeah.
We did the long playoffs, you know, too, where obviously we went to the national championship 2 years in a row, winning it 1 year, getting second the other year, and then I think third year in the playoffs, too. So, lo and behold, we'd come back to ECU and had played them the opening game of year 2, and we had a pretty good day that day.
Yes, you did.
That the Dukes looked pretty good. Looked a lot better than the Pirates did that day, and so I guess we looked like we know what we're doing. Sure enough, we ended up coming back. So, that's why you don't ever burn too many bridges when you leave.
That's
you
right.
Come back and cross that bridge on the way back in, and it'd be hard to apologize. But so we did the playoffs for 3 years, and then we came back, and I think like maybe the first year we went to the Military Bowl. That's when we were talking about, I guess.
Yeah, that was the one that you didn't get to play, that Military Bowl, because then there was one after that. But that was the one against Boston College, right?
That's right. And Boston College decided that they couldn't play, and they pulled out. That's one of the disappointment. Now, the bowl game was good. We had a great time. The staff had such a fun time up there. DC is a fun city, and I know the fans love coming up there to it. They a lot of them stayed in Annapolis even when it was even the first time, but then they moved it over there, so it really is good. It was disappointing not playing because that team had really gelled. We had great bowl practices, and the kids were so ready to play. I remember Tyler Snead had such a good year for us. And we had a pretty good idea Tyler was probably not going to come back, even though he could have come back for 2 years with the COVID deal, but for surely one more year. And so he didn't get to play his last game. And I just think we were getting ready to put it on Boston College. And I think they knew that too. Holton really was cruising there at the end. And so that was disappointing that we get to play the game, but getting there was still fun.
Yeah, I'd never forget that either because I made my plans and I got over to Annapolis early that morning before the game, and there was a photo shoot scheduled for that afternoon, and so I was going to do all that stuff over in Annapolis. And I'm eating breakfast, and there's a lot of Pirate fans in there. One of them walked over to me and said, "Mr. Bailey, have you checked Twitter lately?" And I said, I'm not one of those that check it all the time. Should I check it? And they go, "Yeah, you better." And sure enough, it leaked out that the game was off, and that was as disappointing because I was at some of those practices, and I knew that team was cranked up and ready to go, and I was looking forward to that whipping in that game, and it just never materialized because COVID stole something else from us. But
yeah, that would have been a good win for us in the program and the school. And Coach Holtz had always said, and I think he had said this because his dad had taught him as well. You always know the team that really wants to be at the bowl game is going to play well and probably win that bowl game. And that team, was so jacked up about being at a bowl game. It had been a process. Now, getting back to ECU, I don't know who or what, but it had gotten in pretty rough shape. And it took us a hard year there. That first year was really tough. And the second year could have been a little better if we probably wouldn't have lost the games because of COVID. And then Holt got the false positive test and didn't get to play against Navy.
Yeah. And
I think Navy beat us by about 4. And I think Holton was probably worth 5 points. So
yeah, I'd say.
Really had another win there. And but getting to the bowl game, we clinched the bowl thing over at Memphis, I believe it was, on the road. And I'd never seen in all my years in all the bowl games and the playoffs, and of course we'd go in the playoffs when I was at Appalachian and other school, so a lot of postseason play. I think it was the most excited any team had been about going and just playing another game. So they were so excited. So what a disappointment we didn't get to play it, but still had a good memory, and we just counted it as a win, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. It reminded me of 91 when that team had no success for years and years and years, and they were just so excited, to be going to the postseason and getting a chance to play in a bowl game. Very similar to that one. And then, of course, the Coastal Carolina 53-29, 2022, back to Birmingham for that one.
Yeah, that was a great game. I can still, if I'm having a bad day, I could just go back and think about that one too. Holton Ager's best quarterback in the country by that time in the year, and nobody was playing better than he was. And I don't know, he throw 5 and run for another one, and it just was a phenomenal. We were clicking on all cylinders. We'd finished pretty strong there the game before against Temple, and then that game we continued it on. And Keaton Mitchell was pretty good too.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun to watch him run up and down the field. Even though a lot of those people that kept telling me quit running the ball, and I said quit giving the ball to Keaton Mitchell. I don't know about that. I don't know if I know much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy, but I'm the most informed, as Ruff used to say. I think Keaton Mitchell probably will make something happen pretty good. We'll keep giving it to him a little bit. We'll let Houghton have plenty of throws, so don't worry about that. But good game, and that made for a good off season.
It certainly did, and just what an outstanding career for you with the 2 stints, 16 years. You know, most of the time assistant coaches have to move on because that's just the nature of the beast, but you had a chance to raise both of your beautiful children right here in Greenville. I know that meant a lot to you and to Misty and everything, that they were here and your family stayed intact, and that was really cool too.
It was special, and everybody that I know in the business, you know, when they would see me and then we would talk, or if I meet somebody and tell them where I've been, how it worked out, they go, you did what? So you stayed there 11 years and got your kids through the same, you know, like high school? And I'm like, we did. You know, I'd grown up as a son of a high school coach, and he had stayed. In his second job, he never left, and he became a legend there, and obviously in the Hall of Fame and the North Carolina high school coaching. And so I never went into the business just wanting to move all the time. And I wanted to move up, and I wanted to have a career. And obviously we moved. My wife would start laughing when I say that. We moved like 14 times. But that's the nature of the beast a little bit. Like you say, if you do really good, you end up moving on, and if you do bad, then you get asked to move on. And so that's the way. You got two ways. It's hard to just stay anywhere, especially in the way the game is now, and it's gotten even worse now in the 2 years I've been out, obviously. But we were able to go there in 2005 under Skip Holtz, and that was such an exciting time. They'd been really bad, but Terry Holland had made a commitment that we were going to get good in football, and Skip was the right guy for the job, and every day was fun coaching under him there, and I always thought we were going to win every game, and we had a chance pretty much to win every game. And then very fortunate that when Ruff came in and got the job, that I was able to stay, and I'd known Ruff. First high school player I ever signed was playing basketball for Ruff, and he was the head basketball coach.
Wow.
I met Ruff, and once you meet Ruff, you're best friends for life.
That's it. Yep.
And so we had always seen each other, and then he wanted me to stay, and then I had met Lincoln before one time and had visited with him at the convention, and he that's what how he sold it on me staying. He's like, you know who I'm bringing in here to be the OC? And I was like, no, who? And he's like, this boy named Lincoln Riley. You might not know him now, but everybody's going to know him someday.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I've met him. And sure enough, that was fun every day working with Link and the whole bit. So just, I don't know, very, very good memories, and very fortunate to have gotten to go to East Carolina and coach for so many years. And again, like only Shank comes back, you figure. But I actually got to come back one time, maybe not 3 times, but I did come back. So.
I tell you what, great memories. Coach, best of luck with the Myrtle Beach Bowl. And if you need anything our way, please give us a shout and tell Misty we love her, we miss her, and love you too, Coach. Just love talking to you and enjoyed all of our time together here at East Carolina.
Same back at you, buddy.
All right, there you go. Donnie Kirkpatrick on our show. We'll take our final break, and we'll come back, and we'll wrap things up on this edition of The Brian Bailey Show right after this.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Cliff Godwin. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at ECU for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for our sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the team at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
The perfect place to shop this season is Greenville's newest boutique and fitness studio, Downtown Bar. I'm Victoria, and our boutique is stocked with Lululemon favorites, cozy apparel, and perfect stocking stuffers. But Downtown Bar is more than just a boutique. We offer infrared heated bar, mat Pilates, yoga, and cycling classes that make you feel strong, centered, and inspired. Class packs make amazing gifts, and our studio is full of festive vibes. It's Santa's one-stop shop for the gift that keeps on giving. Find us next to UB and Greenville at Downtown Bar.
And it's first and goal for the Johnsons. They're looking to score their dream home. They hand it off to ENC Pirate Realty, Alan Tate, and boom! Touchdown! That's a home sold in record time.
It's a great thing they handed it to ENC Pirate Realty. The last drive, they tried to sell their own home and fumbled.
Whether you're buying, selling, or just scouting the field, the winning play is ENC Pirate Realty Alan Tate. Visit encpiraterealty.com today, where we bring championship service to every yard. At ENC Pirate Realty Alan Tate, they close the deal or someone walks the plank.
Go Pirates!
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back as we close things out. I want to thank Todd Gibson from WNCN in Raleigh for joining us. Also want to thank Donnie Kirkpatrick, now with the Myrtle Beach Bowl, with the former offensive coordinator, 16 years at East Carolina. Just an absolutely great guy, and certainly enjoyed the visit. Could have gone 2 hours with Coach K for sure. Wes Craven at Reidsville now set for Thursday. Warren County at Tarboro also set for Thursday in the Eastern Finals. We'll see you back next week when we talk bowls for East Carolina. We'll know on Sunday, and we'll have that for our topic on Tuesday right here on The Brian Bailey Show. Have a great sports week, everybody.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Gavigan Insurance, DriveHereNow.com, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
Join us next week for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, right here on Pirate Radio.